There's the man.
What's up, Jason?
How you doing, man?
Doing good and yourself?
I'm doing good. So where are you coming from right now?
I'm in Los Angeles right now,
Nice. Whereabouts?
North Hollywood.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, what
So
about you?
I'm out here in Vancouver, but I spend a lot of time in West
Oh,
Hollywood. I'm there
oh,
like
okay.
4 months of the year. So I love
So,
Hollywood. Yeah.
so,
So let's get right into it. I mean, essentially, give us a little bit of insight on kind of where you came from and kind of how you blew up, like, because you kind of came out of nowhere, in my opinion, and just kind of blew up. So kind of give us some insight on that.
I'm originally from San Diego. Um, I've been doing content for like 5 years now. I used to play professional basketball. I played in Australia, Bosnia, Mexico, and then the pandemic hit, so our season got canceled.
Mm,
And I started making content just for fun on TikTok. And then I was helping out at a elementary school, like a TA, and started just doing more content, and then I just started doing it full time. I hit 1 million followers on TikTok, and then the next month I hit 2 million, and the next month I hit 3 million, and then 4 million, and then it kind of slowed down a little bit, and then I hit 5 million, and then I'm at 6.8 million right now on TikTok. Um, and
wow.
I got introduced to Snapchat. I've been really on Snapchat a lot too. I went to VidCon and got introduced to Snapchat, and I'm at 1.1 million on Snapchat and over 1.2 billion views this year on Snapchat as well.
Wow. What's your secret sauce?
I think just being consistent, man. Like I think we want like we live in a generation where people just want things right away without putting in the work. And sometimes you're gonna get low views, and you gotta really just go against the algorithm. You got to post, throw something at the wall, see what works, study.
Mm.
You got to really you got to study your content, see what's working, and then find that lane and just, go with that.
Is there a video or a piece of content that you did that kind of like that was the defining moment where you kind of like saw the growth started to happen?
No, not really. It wasn't like a specific video. I think it was just being consistent over time. And people on TikTok, like a lot of my followers are kids on TikTok. So
Mm.
once they seen like somebody with a lot of followers showing love, I was just showing love to a lot of my followers, and it got me more love.
Mm. Mm.
So it really wasn't just one video. It was just just being consistent, honestly.
So, what kind of tips do you have for people outside of being consistent that are trying to build they're trying to build a following, they're trying to blow up? What other tips can you give us?
I would say find a couple of things that you're interested in so it doesn't feel like a job.
Mm,
I think a lot of people, they don't love what they do. I love what I do. I wake up every day and I love what I do. So
mm,
find out like three different things that you love to do that won't feel like it's necessarily like a job. And then do your research. A lot of people aren't doing their research. The algorithm updates every day.
mm,
Something that was happening, something that was going on and trending last week, it's not trending right now. You got to find out how to stay on top of the algorithm and stay relevant.
mm.
So that's staying relevant. And the last one would be uh, what is very, 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 very vital. Because I have clients that I look after their social media too, right? So a call to action at the end of your videos is like the best thing that you can do to gather to build a platform. So sometimes we bring people in with the attention grabber, right? It's like a essay. You bring people in with an attention grabber, you have the body, and then you have a call to action at the end. Call to action is going to recuperate all the followers, all the views, all everybody that's looking at that video. Say if you have a viral video
Mm,
with 1 million views and no call to action, you're
mm,
not going to get nothing out of it. People don't you that crowd of people, they don't know what to do after they seen that video. Did you promote your product? Did you tell them to follow you? Those are the simple things. Like if you have a viral video, you got to tell people what to do after. They're looking like what's next.
Mm,
So a call to action is like the best thing that you can do
mm,
on all your videos. And it's not really like selling it. Like you don't have to sell somebody, but one of my clients, he's a lawyer, and he got to like 300,000 followers in like 4 months, right? One video had like 100,000 followers, 100 got him 100,000 followers. One video, and it was like 4 or 5 million. First, he started off like by saying, he said, it was a police video.
mm,
Here's things that police officers don't want you to know, right? He
mm,
came up with this script, and at the end, he listed what police officers don't want you to know, right? So people are
mm,
already like, what do police officers, they don't want me to know what, you know? And then at the end he said, if you want to hear more about your rights and how to deal with police officers, give me a follow. That's
mm.
it. 100,000 followers from that one video.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have a specific call to action that's kind of like your go-to, like something that you like to use quite frequently that's been successful?
Just follow for more videos. It doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to like be out of the box. Just telling people what to do. Once you have a viral video, you just got to tell people what you want them to do.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
What's in store for you for 2026? Give us the highlight goals, what you're going to be getting up to.
Well, some goals I have for myself. Fitness is big. I've been trying out Nutrabolics and
Mm.
the cookies and cream one. Actually, I got it right here. I
Ooh,
love Chick-fil-A milkshakes, right?
yeah.
So I'm really supplementing my Oreos and cream, cookies and cream milkshake from Chick-fil-A with this right here. So fitness is my number one. Uh, health is wealth. Number two, I want to get into acting.
Mm,
I've been taking some acting classes. I've been having some monologues and things. So I want to get into acting, using my platform to get into that. Uh, what other? I want to buy a crib, get my finances in order. I
mm,
feel like I've been spending a lot of money on traveling, and which is cool, but I want to have something where I don't need the algorithm to make money.
mm.
I want to have something that I can feel, that I can see, that's in real life, not automated, not on the phone. So that's a big goal for me. Spend more time with family, and stuff like that.
Nice. Well, let's get back to that Hydro Pure. What's your when you're using the Hydro Pure, what's your post-workout shake or what do you make? Give us the ingredients on what you do after you work out with the Hydro Pure.
So usually I use it with water. I put it in water. I blend it up. I have a little like a blend machine. I blend it up. Maybe put some fruits in there for more like energy, more protein. And yeah, I just take it. It's honestly one of the best products I've had. A lot of companies, they don't like the cookies and cream don't taste like cookies and cream. It tastes like kind of weird. This
Mm.
actually really tastes like Chick-fil-A. I'm not gonna lie. And it's the first time I've ever had something like this that really tastes like cookies and cream. So instead of going to Chick-fil-A and having that post workout shake, I'm using that.
Nice. So I'm not familiar with this Chick-fil-A shake, but I mean I'm assuming it's pretty good. It's a what is it, a milkshake?
A milkshake from Chick-fil-A. Yes, I'll get one
Ooh.
every day if I could, but it's
Ooh.
not healthy,
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. Um, Random question. If it were your last meal, what would that meal look like?
If it was my last meal, I would
Yeah.
have some king crab legs. I love crab. A ribeye steak, and I've been eating a lot of broccolini lately, so maybe some broccolini.
Healthy for the last meal. What about dessert?
Yeah. Dessert. I'm not really. I like shakes.
Nice.
Probably one of these. You know, probably
Nice.
one of these right here, or a Chick-fil-A cookies and cream
So if it was your last meal, you would be okay with having the Hydro Pure shake for dessert.
for sure. It really tastes like Oreos. Like I've never had. I'm not gassing it up. It really tastes like
No.
Oreos. I've never had a cookies and cream protein shake that tastes like Oreos. Like for real.
Mm.
So it's cool when you can supplement like bad things that you usually do. Carne's not a problem. Uh, and supplement it for something that's healthy for you. So
Mm. How often are you training these days?
I train every day. So I
Nice.
work out twice a day. I go to hot yoga. I do hot yoga every day with my girlfriend, and I train here at my apartment complex as well.
Nice. So you're like, how many hours a day are you working out?
I would say 3 hours a day at
Nice.
least. Yeah.
Are you got a goal in mind right now, or what? You trying to bulk up?
Uh,
Like, what's your goal?
yeah. I'm trying to like bulk up, and then I want to be like bigger with abs. You know,
Mm,
I've been skinny, like being a basketball player. I've been always slim, uh, and skinny, but now I got some meat. I'm 220 right now, so I'm
mm,
trying to get like to 225, and then just get abs, looking like a super saiyan. That's my
mm.
goal.
And
Yeah.
how's the diet these days? Are you on a keto diet, low carb diet? What's that look like?
That's the thing. I'm not on a keto diet. I'm on like a low carb diet. But I think my diet got to be better. Like
Mm,
diet is like super important because typically when I was being a Division 1 athlete, pro basketball player, I'm always working out. It's like a lot of cardio, and you can eat whatever. I was eating when I was in Bosnia, I was eating whatever, and I
mm,
had abs. But now I'm 33. I'm not doing a lot of cardio. I mean, I do cardio with hot yoga, but it's not. You're not 3 practices in every day.
mm,
So I think starting 2026, I gotta really watch my diet more.
mm.
And my girl, she cooks 3 meals a day. We got to get on it. We're on it together, but we
Mm.
gotta do better with our diet, man. You can't outbeat a bad diet. I mean, you really can't. Yeah, the older you get too, you can't just outbeat it'll eventually catch up to you.
Have you tried fasting?
Yeah, I've tried fasting. Yeah, I went on like a 3-day fast, with just water, and man, it's mental. It's tough,
Mm,
and I'm working out. Working out and going on a fast. It was tough. It was a lot of mental games. That
mm,
late night eating right before bed. That idle time when you're moving around a lot and you're not like focusing on like I can if I have a whole schedule for myself all day if I'm traveling or something, I can go all day without eating. But if that little idle time that you have, that's when it starts to
mm.
start messing with you a little bit.
What kind of tips do you got for people out there who, maybe they've been consistent with their social media, but they're not getting the results that they want. They're thinking to themselves, maybe they're having some doubt, right? Obviously,
Right,
keep putting out content. I got a friend of mine who's putting out content and he's getting less than 20 views,
right.
and he came to me the other day. He's like, bro, I just keep putting out this content. Like, can you give people out there some inspiration or some, feedback on how they should keep going, because I know there is probably quite a few people out there in this position right now.
Right. Don't look at what's going on right now. Keep building towards something. It's like, if you stop, I told my brother this too. It's like sometimes when you see, the good views, you see something like that's doing well for you, and then the algorithm cuts your account. I've been in that time plenty of times where the algorithm I was here, and then the algorithm got me, and now I'm here, right? So I'm at where your friend is.
Mm,
It didn't stop me from posting
right.
because I feel like that's what the algorithm wants you to do. They want to cut off everybody. Okay, I'm gonna throw something at you, and then it's just like life. I'm gonna throw something at you, and you either rise or you fall. You got to
Mm,
stay consistent through it all, and then once you get here, then you'll know what here feels like. And it wouldn't, it's just like this. It's like life. You're not gonna be here all the time. You're not
mm,
gonna be here all the time. But it's up to you to get here by being consistent, by knowing that in the future I'm gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? But if you're starting out from here, and you haven't been here yet, you just gotta have faith, man. It's one of those things where you gotta have a goal. Um, you don't have a set time for yourself.
mm,
You gotta stop putting deadlines on stuff.
mm,
Um, you just gotta keep, yeah, you gotta keep showing up.
mm.
You
Like,
know,
now, how do people know? Like, obviously, I've watched a lot of your content, and is there a sort of like a time limit? Like, let's say you're editing a video, we can always make it better, right?
right?
But do you have sort of like hey, I want to get out this many videos a week, or like, can you give us some insight into your infrastructure? You know,
Yeah.
maybe like, hey, listen, like I'm gonna shoot this content, but I'm gonna give myself like X amount of time, and then I'm gonna put it out there. Like,
Right.
give us some
Well,
feedback.
I think what's major, what's so important is what's worked for me is you can take a product like this, right,
Mm,
and you can make relatable content with this product, right? And this is just a product, but you can use relatable, like you can do relatable gym content. You can do relatable, people who take supplements content. You can do relatable food content with this. I feel like people starting off use what people can relate to because we all live the same lives essentially. We're all here on this earth. We all can, all have some type of understanding, right? So
mm,
relatable content is the best like starter package for anybody to, to get some type of traction. You see
mm,
relatable content anywhere, you know? So why not use it? And it's something that people can relate to. So they're like, oh, they'll mess with it more because they experienced it. They like, oh, I've done that. That'll make them engage with it more other than somebody using a product and or doing videos that people can't relate to, that's strictly with what they think is going to work. You got to know what other people like, and
mm,
then gradually start throwing in what you think might work, and seeing if that works as your platform gets bigger and bigger off of things that people can relate to. Then you start throwing in your okay, maybe they might like this. Let me switch this up since I've built this platform. Let me show some a different side of me,
mm,
But initially, I would say do relatable content as
mm,
much as you can, and it's easier to put out videos like that. You can see you come up with relatable content in your head, like we do relatable things every day. You know what I'm saying? So you use that content first, build your platform, and then you start going into it. Doesn't everything doesn't have to be HD cinema camera movie quality. It can be the simplest. I have a video where I'm talking about waking up at night,
mm,
getting something to drink on the side of your bed, some water on the side of your bed at 3 a.m. That
mm,
video got 12 million views. It took me 10 minutes to make it.
mm, mm,
So I think sometimes we think about social media like, oh, I gotta go above and beyond. I have to have this somatic type of post, and it's not even like that. It's like just be you, be relatable, and people are gonna like it.
mm. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here.
Okay.
If you were the creative director of Nutrabolics of Hydro
Yep.
Pure, whatever comes to mind here, what kind of content would you suggest we make for Hydro Pure?
I would say relatable gym content. Um, I checked I've been looking at you guys' page too. I think you guys do a great job on the recipes that your creators are doing with the collabs. Um, but just more relatable gym content, like people that people can relate to. That I don't see any relatable content on there
Mm,
where it's like, hey, I've done that. You know, let me check out this product actually because I've done that. That's gonna reel them in. I see a lot of recipes, which is good, but what if I'm not a cook? What if I don't
mm,
know how to make that? What if that doesn't, appeal to me? What about a relatable situation? When I put when you're at the gym and you put this in a shaker and you don't have a shaker, or something like that. It's like it's that simple. You know what I'm saying? So I would say more relatable content that people can relate to, more in more like in the gym content with the product. Maybe
mm,
you show the workout. I'm gonna take you through a four. If you want to increase your chest, or if you want to work on your arms, here are four workouts that I can do. Then slip that in there. It's just different ways different mechanics that you can do
mm.
to get what you want, other than just showing the product all the time and saying like, hey, I'm gonna make some brownies with this. It's like protein, maybe those super protein people like, oh, it has 9 grams of protein. Okay, cool. But what about for the average person that doesn't really count their calories and wants to work out, but you know what I'm saying? It has to be related. I have to relate to that. You want to relate to everybody, not just the people who are counting calories.
For your brand, for people who aren't familiar with you, like what are the top three, say, things that you like to talk about with your content? Like, are there
I,
three relatable things that you kind of kind of go back to?
I would just say well, relatable is just one pyramid on, that can fall into school, it can fall into work, it can fall in, it's just lifestyle, relatable lifestyle things, right? Because I
Mm,
don't want to just put myself under one umbrella. So my
mm,
relatable stuff is just lifestyle in general. I do a lot of gaming on I'm in my gaming room right now. I do a lot of gaming on my platforms. And travel. So it's really just a bunch of. I'm like a jack of all trades. I go to events. I do collabs with restaurants. I would just say like a more of a lifestyle approach. I don't have a specific niche, and I think that's what keeps me relevant because I'm not known for just one thing. You know, like Gary Vee was saying, you gotta have like you don't want to be just known for just one thing because what if that thing is not relevant anymore?
mm,
You want to keep that umbrella open for you to go into different avenues. So I would
mm,
say just lifestyle, relatable lifestyle
mm.
and gaming.
Is there a book or some sort of program? Maybe it's somebody that you follow, for insight information on social media. Like, what would be a good go-to tool for people to, really zone in on something that you use right now?
I have an ebook myself. I dropped a social media ebook, and it just tells you just the foundation on what you need to go viral on social media. The steps that you need, the things that you need to do in your videos, just the basic. It's like a starter package for people who want to do social media, because social media is your digital footprint. If you don't have social media right now, it's like, what are you doing? You rather drive a Lamborghini or you want to ride a horse? A lot of my friends, sometimes I'm not social media savvy. I'm not with the social media stuff. It's like, why not? When you can reach millions of people off of this,
Mm,
off of your phone, so it's like I have an ebook. You know what I also use a lot? What's a secret for me and has
mm,
been working for me a lot? ChatGPT.
mm,
ChatGPT is amazing as far as like it helps with scripts. You can put in some of your ideas and have ChatGPT formulate a script like, hey, now I need a better attention. What give me a relevant attention grabber and give me a relevant call to action for this script.
mm,
And ChatGPT is, and then you can say, okay, cool. I give you a script. Give me 10 script ideas based off of this model. And you can go in there and critique. You can go in
mm,
there and critique it. Use AI.
mm,
It's like you got to stay relevant in this game. You have to be really like relevant with your time because time is everything. And
mm,
the quicker somebody else is doing it, and the slower you're sitting here writing your essays and doing all this and doing all that, writing your scripts, and somebody else is getting 100 scripts with ChatGPT.
mm, mm,
You gotta be quicker. That's what I learned in this social media realm. You have to be quick. You got to get people's attention quick. You have to have a body, and you have to do a quick call to action, and
mm,
and boom, and just use that every
mm,
time. Just keep throwing it at the wall, and something's gonna hit. And when it does, you already know, okay, this is where I need to go.
mm, mm.
So
Is there something though, like a book or something that you could recommend people that outside of your hit, I know,
right.
or heat package? Is there something else that's helped you kind of acquire this knowledge?
No, not for social media. No. Um,
Well, let me ask you this then.
yeah.
What's your favorite book?
I would say my favorite book. I read a book. What's it called? What is this book called? Um, the Stronger. Is it the Stronger Man? What is that book called? Let me see. The Way of the Superior Man.
Mm,
Yeah, I like that book. Basically teaching you how to be a man and um really how relationships work, how life works, how really relationships. It
mm,
taught me a lot about my relationship too and about how women work,
mm,
and being I don't want to say like a superior man, like women are here, you're here, but being a man in general comes
mm,
with just being a man. A lot of people think men are like, super masculine, you got muscles, but you're not really doing what a man needs you. You're not really doing what a man needs to be doing. You know, you're not. It's a lot more than just being masculine. You know, and that book taught me a lot. It taught me how to move. Taught me to change my mindset in a lot of things. So I think The Way of a Superior Man. Yeah, I read that book last year, and it taught me a lot about how the world is. How your woman tests you like the world. Like it's a lot. It's a lot. It was a good book for me. Yeah.
Did you have any questions for me or anything at all you wanted to talk about before we wrap up today?
Yeah. What kind of vision do you guys have for your product? Like as far as social media wise.
I mean, I think for us, for social media wise, definitely staying relevant is key, right? Like you
Right.
said, obviously putting out a nice variety of content. So yes, I mean, we find the recipes and stuff like that is obviously a strength of our team, right? Because
Okay.
a
Right.
lot of people, I mean, our number one seller is HydroPure, right? So we want to give people as many different viewpoints as how to take it, not just maybe cooking, but they can also make a shake, but showing them how appetizing, how easy it is on the stomach. But I think for us too, it's like not just being one thing, but also having the gym footage, having the person who is maybe their MMA, but then maybe there's the soccer mom. Giving a nice variety of people. That's key for us. Not just having like this is what we're about. Like we want to kind of open it up, but also have some entertainment value, right? Like that's the key thing. I mean, one of the things that I don't know if you've checked it out, but I mean, one of the pieces of content for us that's, very successful is our TV series on YouTube called Supplement Sharks, right?
Okay.
And it's basically our story from 25 years ago, right? We've got the original footage. We show the whole come up, right? It's 5 episodes, short
Okay.
episodes. First episode's got close to 1 million views. It's a very good way for people to kind of get embedded in the brand and kind of connect with the brand. See, we're just everyday people, right? Like we started from basically nothing, right? I started my company at 20 years old in my parents' games room, right? Everybody said no to me, right? Like
Right.
this isn't like,
Okay.
like we we started with 5 grand, right? And we had to really go out there and 25 years ago, I'm still here, right? Like it's a long hustle, and I think for us, letting people in on the insight. So, giving some behind the scenes on the brand is also key, right?
Right.
And just being on trend, right? Like right now, one of the trends that I'm really kind of getting behind is this whole like eating in your car thing. Like I'm really kind of trying to get that fun, bring that into the mix. But
Right.
just staying on top of what is relevant, staying and kind of bringing it in quickly, because our whole brand is about innovation, right? So we want to be not only bringing this variety of content, but also banging the drum that we are the leaders in innovation, right? And we are focused on innovation, and that's one of the marketing keys that we've been banging for the last 20 years.
Yeah, I like the idea that you said about giving people the history, the backstory of the brand. That makes people feel, it's like the filler. I want to feel, oh dang, so they came from here and now they're here. You ever thought about like, if you're showing the recap of the brand over the years, have you ever thought about telling people like how to do it themselves?
Yeah, it's crossed my mind. It's crossed my mind. The only caveat is it kind of gets away from our model, right?
Right.
And there's only so much time in the day, right? That's
Right.
the thing, right? It's like, there's so many, you get presented with so many opportunities. And for us, I mean, we're kind of sticking to the blueprint of like, hey, let's really bring home the products, time and energy on what we do best, right? So
So do
we're
you think like with okay, say for like the future, your brand is taking off even more the next 10, 15 years, you guys are in every store, you guys are, doing commercials, you guys are collabing with movie stars, influencers, anybody like athletes. Do you think then is when you'll be like, well, let me show you how I turn this into this?
I think if we did a course, I think the first course that we would put out is something that maybe encompasses, different things. So nutrition, recovery, sleep, performance, into a course. I think for
Right.
us, selling that to the end user of like, hey, here's you want a fat loss program, tailored to you, here's not just we're not just going to give you some cookie cutter program. We're going to give you, the exact, supplements to use, the timing and everything based
Right.
on what your goals are, right? So I think that would be our first sort of, if we were to take a road of like packaging a product like an online product, I think that would be something we would see first. But I think the concept of like, that you mentioned is possible. I just don't know if it leans a little bit away from what we're doing.
Right. I was thinking too, what I've been seeing a lot on social media with, brands like yours is like before and after.
Mm,
Maybe do like some before and after when you started taking the product and after you started taking the product.
mm,
Like those work really well. You
mm,
know, so that's a great idea that you guys can do. And more educational. I feel like too, if you guys, I know recipes is educational. People can follow for recipes, but like you said nutrition. When you got my attention when you
mm,
just said nutrition, sleep, the time that you need. Like that set my buzzer off. Like, okay, hey, I might need that.
mm,
So why don't you start creating content like that now? Not informative content for the average person like me who doesn't know stuff
mm,
like that. And incorporating the brand. I
mm,
feel like informative content is amazing. And it just gets your brand more eyes when you know it's like you're not selling it, but you're providing information. And I
mm,
noticed that about my lawyer client. Like his page is nothing but information, right? Um, and people don't mind following those pages. They're not looking at, oh, I'm following too many people. Or they're not looking at, he follows like 15 people. He has 300 some thousand followers. His
mm,
page is for information.
mm,
People love pages for information, and they don't mind following pages that are going to help them out.
mm,
And I look at you guys' page, and I get the same feeling. If you
mm,
guys can provide more information to the average person, whether it's here's 5 tips that you need to do for your diet to better your
mm,
diet. Here's
mm,
5 ways to get more muscle, and go through the 5 with a call to action. So
mm.
maybe start implementing, you know, just information on, not even with collab with like in-house content that you guys don't need to collab with other people. Maybe make it
No, but
information based, because it is information based. You guys got a bunch of information on here
yeah.
that we can use.
No, but we
So
do definitely have informational content. It's just a matter of, not maybe not where you saw it right on the page of Instagram, but also we have a big, huge email list. We're always sending out information,
okay,
the
got
YouTube,
you.
right? And there are many posts that you actually have to click on, like even though it may not say it in the subheading, but there's many posts that you may see on our Instagram where it's like when you click on it, then you get fed this information, right?
Right.
So if you're just looking at it aesthetically, maybe you're not seeing essentially the information, but there's definitely a lot of informative content. I think we could do a little bit more. Definitely, I think it's a great suggestion. But there's no doubt. I mean, and we're constantly being, a leader in innovation. We're constantly trying to put out informative content. Like it's one of the high level things, that is on our list, right?
Okay,
Is
cool.
and yeah, don't even sweat that. That's a very high level for us. But the other thing I was going to say is, I mean, for you, obviously in music and as a creator and this and that, I mean, right now, is there something that you're doing with your content that you feel like you're kind of focused on, like a specific type of content?
Um Specific type of content right now. I would say I'm doing a lot of gaming content right now.
Mm,
I'm trying to get more into the streaming space. Or I can show you my. This is my stream setup that I just bought. So I'm trying to get more into the gaming space and streaming space because I see like streamers, they have like cult followings, where you can promote anything on a stream because it's like live. It's like what we're doing now. So I've been really gearing up towards that, making a lot of investments into that right now. Um,
nice.
yeah.
So where can people find out more information about you?
You can find out more information about me on my Instagram page, Snapchat. I post a lot on my Snap. I'm doing stories every day. I'm doing spotlights. But yeah, really just my social media at Novocaine, at the real Novocaine on TikTok. I post a lot of my. I'm like an open book, man. I post a lot of my life on there.
Nice. Well, listen, thanks for coming on Perform. You've been a great guest, my man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jason. I appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Take
We'll stay
care.